Hi, my name is Allison Horvath. This is my 10th year in 4-H and in the rabbit poultry and cavy project. And this is my showmanship routine. So this is a Florida White senior doe. She probably weighs around 6'2" because she just got off of a litter a couple weeks ago. Max weight for Florida Whites is 6 pounds, so she would obviously be disqualified, but she wouldn't be shown either. She is standard. So that means there's only one variety that they come in, which is white with red eyes. So the first thing we're going to be checking for is her ear number to make sure she has one for identification at a rabbit show. It's Kiwi. While I'm in this ear, I'm also going to be checking for ear canker, ear mange, or any signs of ear mites or any inflammation of the inner ear, indicating that there is an infection. I don't see any indication of inflammation or any loose skin indicating ear mites or ear canker. Now I'm going to be checking the right ear for the same thing, inflammation, any signs of ear canker, ear mange, or ear mites. And I see no indication of any of these. So the next thing we're going to be checking for is her eyes to make sure that she has a clear side of view, which is walleye, which is any cloudiness to the eye, or a white cornea, any discharge coming from the eye, and making sure that the eyes are the right color, which is the albino red that they come in, only variety. I don't see any inflammation of the inner eyelid, which is indicating any discharge coming from it, and there's no cloudiness to the eye, which would actually be a lot harder to see on this variety since it's a albino variety rather than having a black pupil, which is a lot easier to see on. So the next thing we're going to be looking for is her nose to make sure there's no discharge or white nasal nostril discharge coming from it. Also making sure that there isn't any freckles, which wouldn't be very prominent in this variety, but in the Dutch it's pretty common, in the Dutch breed. There seems to be no discharge coming from it, while I'm also going to be checking the insides of her front legs because that's where rabbits usually wipe the discharge coming from off. And she has no signs of any crusty discharge coming from any of her nose or on her front legs. Now I'm going to be checking her teeth for any signs of malocclusion or budding teeth or any torn or missing portions of the tooth, making sure that it's not a peg tooth. She has no signs of any of this. No simple budding, no malocclusion. So now we're going to be going down her body to checking for abscesses or any hernias coming from her belly area. Now I'm checking down her sides. Now this doe did just have a litter a couple weeks ago, so her teeth are a little bit bigger than they usually would be because obviously she had a litter of 9. Now I'm checking for a hernia to make sure she doesn't have one of those, which could be a serious problem. Now I'm going to be checking the sides of her legs for any abscesses or protrusions coming from the skin. Now I'm going to be checking her left leg to make sure that it functions properly and it's not bent or bowed. I'm also going to be checking for the right number of toes, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and a dew claw on the side of her foot. Also going to be making sure that they're all the same color, which is white because it's a single variety. I'm going to do the same thing with the right foot, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a dew claw, making sure that they're all the same color. I'm also going to be making sure that this leg is functioning properly, making sure that it's not bent or bowed, which it seems to be. Now we're going to move back to her rear legs to make sure that these are functioning properly and they are bent or bowed. While I'm here, I'm also going to be checking to make sure that all of her toes are there and that they're all the same color and not broken. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's also no dew claw because those are only on the front feet. I'm going to be checking this one to make sure it's functioning properly and make sure it's not bowed or bent. And making sure that she has 4 toes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and no dew claw. I'm also going to be checking her hocks to make sure they're not sore or rubbed raw because of the cage wire. This would be fixed with an easy feed from the local pet store or a local show, which sells these things. Also, This doe doesn't have very bad staining on the front, or on her paws, her pads. But if that was also a problem, an easy feed or just cleaning the cage more would be helpful. So I'm also going to be checking her vents to make sure there's no any signs of any vent disease, which I would obviously see. This is a doe, so she does have a vagina rather than having a penis like a Beck does. She has no testicles because it's a doe. I see no signs of vent disease or any other problems coming from the vaginal area. While I'm here, I'm also going to be checking her tail to make sure it's not wry or screwed, broken, or any indication of it having a problem, which I feel no indication of that. This rabbit is in pretty good condition for having a litter a couple weeks ago. She's very full in the hind quarter, but she peaks a little bit far forward for me and slopes off pretty well. She does have good texture to fur and a good head and ear. The overall health check condition, pretty good, because she's not sick or has any inflammation of anything or any indication of having a illness or sickness. Thank you for your time.